Welcome back to the shop. I was talking to my father today, and he says, you need to work on an introduction for the channel because for new viewers and whatnot, they have no idea who you are. In the last video I did with the Shaper, I just sort of think I had lost the footage for it or something, or misplaced it, and anyway, I lost the introduction, and anyway, I'm going to start working on a better introduction, but I sort of got to balance the line between people that watch the channel all the time, not boring them to death with an overly long introduction, or two, having it be so short that it, doesn't contain any real information, because, I am interested in gathering new viewers and new subscribers, not because I'm in a race to have more, I don't need X amount of viewers, or it's not because I'm going to I could have monetized the channel a long time ago. But, I don't like watching commercials, and it just doesn't seem worth it. But anyway, I just got to try to balance the line of keeping you people entertained, guys and girls alike, and then attracting new people, and just trying to keep it, substantive. And this channel is pretty eclectic, so it'll be hard for me to develop a good introduction because, sometimes I'm working on, the tractor, sometimes I'm working on just a simple tool, or I've got a sewing machine in the mix somewhere. Anyway, I've got a lot of different things going on in the shop because I enjoy working on a lot of different things. And the evolution of this channel is sort of interesting because as I watch other people do things, as I sort of communicate with other people, other creators on YouTube, I learn more things and become, willing to take on different tasks and learn different skill sets that sort of enable me and this channel to sort of grow and move into new territories. And one of the examples of that is, I watch Active Adam, Lance and Patrick. Patrick, thank you very much for sending me the stickers. I'm going to find a prominent place to put these stickers, and these are very nice stickers. These are just first class. Thank you very much for these. These are my first real channel stickers. I think a couple other people are in the process of getting stickers made, but these are the first ones that I think I've got so far. And anyway, I really appreciate that. And anyway, I use them. This is quite apropos to my little narrative here because, their channel, they work on stuff that's not at all relevant to, or not relevant, but is not at all like my channel. It is completely different. Their shop is spotless. They know what they're doing. They're real craftsmen. Just really nice people, and I enjoy their content. And even though what they work on is completely different than the stuff that I work on, there's still things that sort of overlap. The things that I pick up from their channel that are super interesting. They just the other day, Lance was saying, with tape, if you're working on something really important, the tape is sticky, and the minute you take your tape and drop it over, it's shot. And then if you've really got a clean part, then, you look at all the grit and grime on this thing, and it's, that's a what should be obvious to most people, but to me, it never crossed my mind. I've always got these rolls of tape that look like junk, so, when I bought a new roll of tape, I try to keep track of this one and keep it from getting dirty, but, just very, very interesting little points like that, could have a place in everybody's shop. And also, Patrick was lacing up a watchmaker's lathe over there, and he was using this orange poly stuff to make the belts. And they use round belts on their machines. And I said, maybe there's a chance that they make it for the size stuff that I work on. And sure enough, this was the perfect application for what I was working on. And the interesting thing about this is much, much, much cheaper than the alternative, which is this style belt. And these are relatively rough increments here. You have exactly 1 inch one way or the other. And in some cases, with my surface grinder, 1 inch isn't really the unit of analysis that I need to work in. I need a little bit smaller than that. 1/4 inch would be better. And here, from watching their channel, I've learned that I can go out and buy something that's far cheaper, far easier to work with, that gives me infinite variability in the length of the belt that I want. And it just, just goes to say that the YouTube channel is very, the YouTube format, this means of communicating is, you know, super powerful. I learned so much from it, and I appreciate everybody's stuff. And to that end, I appreciate it so much, I want to do a better job. Not just for, you know, just not for the numbers' sake, not for anything like that, but to bring you better content, and to also sort of recognize all the other people that sort of help me, you know, figure out what I should do and what I shouldn't do. And you know, that, like, you know, Scout Crafter goes out and recommends Bondus. He says, you know, they've been a great company. You know, that makes a big difference to me. If somebody's gonna get my money for Allen wrenches, and I said, you know, might as well give it to somebody that at least has a good rapport with the people that I know and trust on YouTube. So anyway, these are just in time to do a little fine-tune adjustment on the surface grinder. But anyway, beyond all that, at the end of the day, this channel is dedicated to fixing stuff. And today is not going to be the most cerebral repair, but a buddy of mine that I work with is this Jackson. It's a trenching shovel, and anyway, he's got a busted handle for it, and we're gonna try to replace it. I've never replaced a handle on a fiberglass shovel before, so we'll see how that goes. Let me get started. Alright, a brief amendment to this. Active Atom is the first official sticker that I've gotten. However, Matt over at the Super Wrench Garage, he gave me a magnet, which is, you know, magnet's a great idea because you can peel them on and off. And I had this on I had a beer refrigerator, and the first beer refrigerator went bad, and I was able to take the sticker off of that and put or take the magnet off and put on another one. So I think if I ever make anything for the channel, I'm going to make magnets, would be my take. With stickers and magnets, but anyway, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, so that's it. That's the urethane that I put right here on the handle, and we're going to look at that later on when it dries up. So, alright, so it's about, I don't know, 12 hours later or so, and you can see that little bit of urethane that I put on there, how it, see how much it bubbled up. So if you remember back, I put urethane at the end of the handle thinking that when I drive the pin through and the urethane starts to dry up and expand, it's going to push through. And this handle is really on there like no other. So I didn't think that there was any feasible way for me to really pound this rivet over and give it a good solid head like the other side had. So I just epoxied it in there. So not only is it epoxied in there, but then this, you know, the urethane is probably forcing this apart, trying to pin it in there. So anyway, that should be a pretty solid fix. Let me go ahead and finish grinding the end of this and get this nice and sharp. Alright, so this is like a ridiculous amount of time to spend on a shovel, but you know, I'm just tinkering around with it. And, you know, I'm learning, but then I'm also trying to sort of document what I'm doing along the way so that, you know, you don't have to sort of go through the trial and error to figure out what you're going to do in terms of removing rust. Typically, you know, if you use the shovel, you're shoving it in the sand and the dirt, it's going to clean itself. That will eventually wear out if you dig a lot. And these shovels, you know, you saw some time lapse of me sharpening the end of this. It's not razor sharp, I just sort of took, it was very blunt, very flat, so I sort of gave it a little bit of a profile to help it cut. And the reason you need to do that with the trenching shovel is because you can't step on this with your shoe, because you're only going to get the tiny inside section of your shoe. And long ago I used to be a sprinkler guy in high school, and I would kick through the center part of my shoes. Would be just, you know, after, you know, a week or two, I would kick the center of the shoe out. So you learn not to use your shoes when you're digging with a trenching shovel. So otherwise you're buying shoes constantly. So anyway, that's why I sharpened the end of this. Now the Rust-Oleum did a remarkable job on parts of this. However, other sections it didn't seem to do very well. So I took it over to the wire wheel. You just saw a little clip of that, and just sort of tried to dust off some of the thicker stuff. Now I'm going to try something that's a little different. This is the navel jelly. We'll see how that works, and we'll do time lapse, and hopefully the camera doesn't crap out on me because it's been recording for a while. And I'm just using these acid brushes you buy, you know, like a 50 pack for $2 or $3. They're handy. Alright, this sucker's about to get a trip through the media blaster. I can't get the rust off this thing. There's some residual from the sticker that's on there, and I mean it got the lion's share of the rust off. And some parts look really nice, but I can't really figure out the rhyme or reason why it really worked well on some spots and not on the others. Maybe the sheer mass of it, or I don't know. I'm getting close to it working well, but it's no panacea. You can see that for sure. You know, I do have a bucket of a spray bottle with some 50/50 muriatic acid on there. I'm not sure that I just have a spray bottle. I'm not sure how well that'll work. We'll try that on the handle up here and see if that makes anything. Anyway, let me go spray it down and I'll bring you back. Alright, so I sprayed it with some of the muriatic acid, and that seemed to, you know, take the spots that weren't that bad and really make them nice, but there's still, you know, bits and pieces. I think there's some sort of a finish that they left on here that the rust sort of got underneath, and this, whatever I've been doing without physically removing that layer of whatever they had on here, it's sort of like a what do they call that hammered finish, sort of some sort of shellac on the outside of that. That seems to just have some real staying power. So anyway, I'm just going to dust this thing off with the pneumatic fiber wheel here, and then see, that does a pretty good job. Do that, then I'm going to paint this thing, then I'll give it back to my buddy. So. Alright, so there it is. There's the Jackson shovel. That's got the Rust-Oleum Professional 15-minute dry quick paint. I've been real happy with that. I've really knocked Rust-Oleum in the past with some of the problems that I've had. And when I say knock it, I mean not like personally go after them or anything, but you know, in my experience, I've had some really horrible problems with Rust-Oleum. And I've always owned up to the fact that, you know, that may have well been very well have been user error. But no matter what, if it's more complicated than I can figure out, then, you know, I'm not the smartest person in the world or the sharpest tool in the shed, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, if it's not user friendly, you know, still not something I'm going to recommend. But anyway, the Rust-Oleum Professional has been pretty good. So, like I said, I tried the Rust Dissolver, I tried the Navel Jelly, I did a little bit of wire wheel to this, the fiber wheel, even muriatic acid, trying to get all the rust off of this. But you know, a used shovel will never get rusty. You know, the sand is just going to abrade all the rust off of this thing. And honestly, what you can do for old tools when you're done using them, and this was a trick my grandfather had used, and anybody who works at the EPA, go ahead and turn this off right now. But he would take a bucket of sand and then pour his old motor oil in it, and then stick the tools in there, and then, you know, between the abrasive action of the sand and the old motor oil in there, that would sort of add a protective cover on the old shovels and whatever implements he was using that day. So anyway, I don't do that because, you know, I'm not working with shovels all the time or anything. But anyway, the paint should, you know, stay adhered onto here. So, you know, it's probably going to sit in his shed for 10 years till he uses it again. But so it'll look nice. But anyway, that's it for this episode. I'd just like to thank everybody for watching, subscribing, and as always, I appreciate the comments. And I hope you all are having a great weekend.